Happy New Year, everyone. Here we are. It is the start of 2013. It's the beginning of a new year, and I finally made it through last year, so I was able to bring the project that I started to a close, and that's a good thing. I'm kind of happy not to be tracking this stuff anymore. If you're one of the people that saw my videos, then you should know what this video is pretty much going to be about. I've always had the feeling that I made more money than I ever seemed to have, and now after a year of tracking, it appears I have some proof as to why I feel that way. This is not going to be my final video. I still have to file taxes, and I'm going to get some refunds and stuff before I draw my final conclusion. So let's just say for a middle-class person who makes in the vicinity of $65,000 a year, these numbers are pretty big. So let me show you the boards that we got. This board here is insurance costs for the year. So medical, dental, vision, vehicle insurance. That stuff came to $6,444.65 for 2012. The other board that I have, if you haven't seen mine in the past, are for taxes. So we've got federal income tax at $11,409, state $2,991.59, Social Security, Medicare, vehicle emissions, tax just on going to the gas pump, miscellaneous stuff, things that I've bought throughout the year, and my sales tax on that. That came to $19,680.34. Again, that's before I figure out my income taxes and my refunds for the year. But between my taxes and my insurance, that's $26,124.99 that I've paid this year. And again, to me, that's crazy. Those types of numbers represent 40% of my income. And I asked a question, for what? I had an annual physical. I had 2 dental cleanings. My medical coverage didn't even cover all of my physical expenses, nor the expenses of my fiance throughout the year. That was yet more expenses in premiums to meet insurance deductibles before coverage took place in full. And then guess what? Just about the time the deductible is met, the year ends and we start that process all over again. So the deductible and the insurance costs, again, is my investment in Social Security and Medicare going to give me some insurance that one day those services will be there when I need them? I hope so. But like every other promise I'm led to believe by government, the promise is only as good as the people who make them. And unfortunately, our government doesn't even live by the same rules as you and I do. They'll say and do most anything they can to keep their standard of existence, even if it means sacrificing yours and mine. Am I supposed to feel good that for all of these expenses, my government can work out details and plans to keep our country solvent, keep us from going over the fiscal cliff? When I watch politicians go home for the Christmas holiday, which is what happened with the House of Representatives, instead of staying and working out a deal to provide assurance to its citizens that they're working for our best interests, am I supposed to look with optimism into next year, knowing that each day something could collapse and take away what small amount of financial security I may have worked for? Wall Street's corrupt, loaded with fraud, yet no one gets prosecuted when we all know something isn't right. Lobbyists and special interests control our world. Big money never sleeps, while hard-working Americans like you and I struggle years trying to get ahead, only have it all taken away in a flash by dishonesty and deceit. And yet somehow I try and tell myself I'm one of the lucky ones. I have a job, I have some savings, and yet our family has a manageable amount of debt. I'm 49 years old, and I realize now what life's realities really are. I'm not going to be wealthy and secure and able to take care of everyone that I love without worry. My American dream has always been somewhat of an illusion, placed before me by everyone who wanted to financially benefit by my dreams for a better existence. Buy a car, Jim. Buy a house, Jim. Get all the toys you can before you get out. That's how you win this game. And for a kid who grew up poor, and I grew up poor, I wanted to live differently. Good food on the table, nice car. How hard of a sell do you think that was for society? A young person doesn't always know how to manage money, how to save and plan and build for a future. In this live for today society, it's all about what school you go to, what clothes you wear, what car you drive, and how big your house is. Live with those objectives and watch your debt climb to levels like our country's is. Heck, if we die tomorrow, someone else will have to pay for our negligence, and we will have lived like kings. Or did we really live as prisoners? Check to check, week to week, month to month. As a majority, we are all close to a precipice of disaster. If we slip, the debt will eat us up, take everything we have, and leave us with nothing. What kind of a system is that? I do not know what would be an acceptable expense for the items I have looked at during the past year. I don't know what would be acceptable. All I can truly say at this time with certainty is that $26,124.99 has been removed from my household, and I'm wondering what value I received for that enormous investment. It also saddens me that I am just one of many who live with these expenses, and no one seems to be working out a way to lighten our load. If I had that money, just 1 year's worth, I could pay off every debt I personally have. Unfortunately, while having to pay those numbers, I'm stuck in this cycle for another 3 years or so. And then what happens if I lose my job? It sometimes feels like my nose will never clear the waterline, or I can swim with enjoyment and not like someone frantically trying to get to the surface for a breath before being pushed back under by a society where so few bask in the sun on the surface. But there are people without those worries, and the number of those people is 1%. Like you, I'm one of the 99%, and that's just the way it is for you and me. I'll be back with final numbers mid-February, after all the taxes and reimbursements are done, and there'll be final numbers. Thanks for taking the time to listen. Have a happy new year. God bless all of you.